Long ago, when the nights were longer than the days, and the sea sang louder than the wind, there were people who listened. They lived in the cold lands of the north, where snow kissed the mountains and the sky was full of stars. These people were called Vikings. They were not just fighters, they were farmers, sailors, mothers, children, storytellers. At night, by the fire, they told quiet tales about brave men and mighty gods. But before we meet the gods, let us walk beside the Vikings themselves. Quietly, slowly, one soft footstep at a time. If you like quiet stories like this, maybe you'd like to subscribe. We sail slowly, but we go far. The Vikings built houses from wood, simple homes, strong and warm. Inside, the fire always burned. It was the heart of the house. It gave light, heat, and comfort during the long, dark winters. Families sat close together. They ate fish, bread, and drank from carved cups. They wore wool to stay warm and leather to stay dry. Children played with wooden toys. They learned stories, songs, and how to use a knife carefully. Viking women worked hard. They cooked. They kept the house clean. And sometimes they led the farms when the men were away. Viking men worked too. They made boats, sharpened axes, and hunted in the snow. They were strong, but also quiet. They did not talk too much. They listened to the wind. Their hearts were made of iron, but their homes were made with care. Outside, wolves howled. Inside, the family stayed close. The Vikings did not stay still. They were people of the sea. Their boats were long and thin, made from oak, held together with iron nails and dreams. A dragon's head stood at the front, not to scare people, but to scare away evil spirits. They sailed through storms, through rain and ice, through fog that felt like smoke. Some days the sea was calm like a mirror. Other days it roared like a beast. But still they kept going. They sailed to new lands, to green coasts, to great rivers, to cities full of gold and stone. Some Vikings traded. They gave fur, fish, and amber, and took back silk, spices, and silver. Some fought, yes, but not always for war. Sometimes they fought for land, for food, for a better life. And some just wanted to see what was beyond the horizon. They followed the stars, the sun, and their own courage. When they landed, they touched the earth with care. They listened. Every place had its own spirit. And every wave brought them closer to a story waiting to be told. When the boats were quiet and the tools were set down, the Vikings gathered by the fire. Snow covered the world outside, but inside there was warmth. There was light. There were stories. Old men told tales about giants as tall as trees, about wolves with burning eyes, about the sea swallowing ships whole. They spoke of brave warriors who fought dragons, of women who turned into swans, of ghosts in the fog. Children listened with wide, silent eyes. They heard about a world held together by a great tree. They heard the names of gods: Odin, Thor, Freya, Loki. They did not fear the dark, because the dark was full of magic, and the stars above were full of watching eyes. Sometimes they sang, softly, songs without words, just sounds, like the wind, like the sea, like memories. The fire cracked and danced, and somewhere, even the gods listened. Which Viking moment surprised you the most? The icy sea? The quiet fire? Let us know below. To the Vikings, the world was full of signs. The wind could whisper warnings. The clouds could carry faces. The thunder could be a voice. They believed there was more than what eyes could see. The land had spirits. The sea had moods. The sky was alive. Above them stood a great tree, invisible but real in their hearts. It was called Yggdrasil, the world tree. Its branches reached every land. Its roots touched every shadow. One root stretched to the land of men, another to the world of gods, another to the deep, dark place where monsters sleep. The Vikings believed they were not alone. Above them walked the gods, watching, waiting, sometimes helping, sometimes testing. And so, every storm, every dream, every strange bird in the sky meant something. They did not just live on Earth. They lived in a world of stories, a world of signs, a world of gods. If you could meet one Viking god for a moment, who would it be? High above the clouds, where the stars burn colder, there walks a man with only one eye. His name is Odin. He is the All-Father, the Watcher, the Seeker of Truth, the God who does not sleep. Odin did not want gold. He did not want power. He wanted something deeper, wisdom. But wisdom has a price. Once, Odin stood beside a well. Its water was dark, deep, and old. At the bottom of the well lay secrets, secrets of life, of death, of time itself. The well belonged to Mimir, the guardian of memory. Odin asked, "Let me drink." Mimir answered, "Only if you pay." So Odin took out his own eye and dropped it into the water. Now the well knows his face, and Odin sees more with one eye than others see with two. Odin has many names: the Wanderer, the Gray Cloak, the Father of Runes. He walks among people in the shape of an old man, his beard long, his eyes sharp like frost. He carries a spear that never misses. He rides an 8-legged horse named Sleipnir, fast as the wind, silent as the grave. And always, always, there are 2 black ravens by his side. Hugin, which means thought. Munin, which means memory. They fly across the world each day, bringing him news from every corner of the sky. He listens, he waits, he plans. Odin is not just a god of war. He is a god of poetry, of magic, of silence. He speaks in riddles. He hides in dreams. He teaches through pain. He hung himself from Yggdrasil, the great tree, for 9 days and nights. No food, no water, no rest. He died and came back, bringing with him the runes, symbols of power, of language, of fate. He gave these runes to the world to help people understand what cannot be seen. The Vikings feared Odin, but they also loved him because he was like them, curious, brave, and always walking the edge between light and shadow. In the storm, in the silence, if you listen very closely, you might hear a raven's wing. And somewhere, one cold eye is still watching. When black clouds rolled over the mountains and the wind howled like wolves, the people did not cry. They looked to the sky and whispered one name: Thor. He is the storm. He is the roar of the sky. He is the strong arm that holds back chaos. Thor is the son of Odin, but he is not like his father. He does not speak in riddles. He does not trade his eye for secrets. Thor believes in action, in strength, in protecting what matters. He lives in a hall called Bilskirnir, in a land of clouds and fire. His house is the biggest of all the gods, with 540 rooms, each full of lightning and laughter. Thor is never alone. He rides a chariot pulled by 2 giant goats, Tangrisnir and Tangjoster, Teeth Grinder and Teeth Bearer. Their hooves spark fire on the sky, and when Thor rides, the heavens shake. Every thunderclap, that's his arrival. Every flash of lightning, that's the swing of his hammer. That hammer, Mjolnir. Short-handled, heavy as a mountain, so powerful it can crush giants with one blow and always flies back to his hand. With Mjolnir, Thor blesses. He protects homes. He blesses marriages. He defends Midgard, the world of humans. When dark things crawl up from the deep, when frost giants stir in the north, Thor is the wall between the world and the end. But Thor is not just a warrior. He is laughter. He is loud joy, the kind that makes halls ring in winter. He drinks from great horns. He tells stories. He travels with Loki, his strange, tricky brother, and often ends up in trouble before saving the day with one great strike. Sometimes he is angry, like the storm, but sometimes he is gentle too. He lifts his children to his shoulders. He plays with his goats. He holds the sky together with tired, scarred hands. People loved Thor more than any other god because he was strong, not to rule, but to protect. And when you hear thunder far off in the mountains, deep inside the clouds, you might wonder, is that just weather, or is Thor riding again? There is a voice in the fire. It laughs, it lies, it tells the truth in strange ways. That voice belongs to Loki. He is not a hero. He is not a villain. He is something in between, always dancing on the edge. Loki is clever, so clever even the gods fear him. He can change his shape into a fish, a bird, a woman, a shadow. He can twist words like ropes. He can turn friends into enemies with just a whisper. And yet, they kept him close. Because Loki made them laugh. Because Loki found strange answers when no one else could. Because even the gods sometimes need a little chaos. Loki was Odin's blood brother. He sat at the same tables, drank the same mead, walked the same roads. But Loki was not like Thor. He did not protect. He did not build. He broke. He gave birth to monsters. Yes, he gave birth. One was a giant snake, Jormungandr, so long it wraps around the world. One was a wolf, Fenrir, with eyes like night and teeth like swords. And one was a girl named Hel, who ruled the land of the dead. The gods tried to stop them. They chained Fenrir. They threw Jormungandr into the sea. They sent Hel far below, to a land of cold and silence. But Loki never forgot, and the monsters grew. There is a story of the end. It is called Ragnarok, the twilight of the gods. One day, Loki will break free. Fenrir will open his jaws. The world serpent will rise from the sea. The sky will burn. The stars will fall. And everything will end. Thor will fight the serpent. He will kill it, but take 9 steps and die from its poison. He will fall, swallowed by the wolf. The fire giants will come, led by a being made of flame. Surtur, holding a sword brighter than the sun. And Loki will laugh, and weep, and fight until the end beside the monsters he made. But the story does not end there. Some say, after the fire, a green world will grow. A world without gods, without war, just grass, light, peace. And 2 humans, hidden in a tree, will walk out into the new morning. What does it mean? Is Loki evil? Is Ragnarok the end or the beginning? The Vikings never said for sure. They only told the story and let the fire decide. Now the fires are low. The wind has calmed. The boats are sleeping beneath blankets of snow. But listen closely. Do you hear it? A whisper in the pine trees. A soft splash in the water. A distant horn carried by the breeze. The Vikings are gone, but not really. They live in the sea foam, in the howl of mountain wind, in the creak of old wood beneath your feet. They live in you, when you wonder, when you search, when you choose the harder path just to see what waits at the end. Odin still walks the quiet roads, hood low, eye watching. Thor still rides through storms, bringing strength where fear once stood. Loki still hides in flickers of flame, smiling when you least expect it. And maybe the tree still stands, Yggdrasil, growing between your thoughts and dreams, its branches filled with silent songs. So if someday you wake at night and the stars seem to be watching you, Don't be afraid. It's just the old gods checking in. Thank you for walking this path with us. If the stories brought you peace, consider liking, subscribing, and saying goodnight in the comments. Sleep well. Dream of stars, of waves, of ancient voices. The gods are still listening, and so are we.